Hello, Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design, and today is Friday, so it is our Friday Q&A day. I'm just trying to get everything set up here. Letting Miss Maria in. That might take just a second because the system is being so funky. So while everyone is getting, if we get logged in here, I am going to share my screen and I'm going to show you, if you are a member, how you can join us in the Zoom. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen here. So this is the resources area. If you are a member and you're not sure even how to get logged in, you can go to myvisionagency.com. You'll see the login button. You can go directly to app.myvisionagency.com. Oh, I think Maria just got access and still sounds like a robot. Sorry, Maria. I don't know what it is. I think it may be your internet connection or something, because it's kind of picking you up, but it sounds like a robot. I'll give you just a few minutes to get that figured out, and I will go ahead and tell everyone how to join. So all you need to do is go to the resources tab once you get access to the dashboard, and you're just going to scroll here to click to join us in the Zoom meeting. Okay. I do want to show you also, there are some things in here. First of all, if you need access to the Tier 5 tools, you can grab that here. They are available on the business or professional plan. So if you're in the beginner plan, you do not have access, you can access your Genius Messenger CRM here. You also can access our noisy network. If you're not registered yet, you can click here. If you're already registered, go ahead and click there. You can also access your account here for exclusive membership pricing. If you're interested in the affiliate program to promote Vision so you can learn, share, and earn, you can check that out here. And there's also some training to help you get started. You can book a private consultation as well. And there's some other tools that work really well with your suite of tools if you want to check those out, but they're not included and they're certainly not necessary, just good options for you. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the resources tab here because there are some things that I want to show you. If you click here, these are, because I have access to everything, these are all of the modules that we have available. Okay, so if you are a HighLevel member and you're in a trial, or you are a $97 a month member, you're going to have access to this onboarding module. Okay. If you are on the $297 plan or the $497 plan, you're going to see that you have two different options. Okay. Now, the reason that I separated all of this out is because I'm really going to be driving a massive amount of resources to the $497 plan. I personally think it's the best plan. And so I want to, if you're on this plan, I want to help you be successful in every way possible. So I'm going to be filling this up with massive amounts of value. Already right now, what you get is the, if we click here, you'll see that, of course, you get a free professional plan with my Vision Agency, which has all of the tools that we have available. We have over 30 tools in addition to the high-level tools that you get access to. And then you also get the member, the My Vision Agency member snapshot, and my agency snapshot. Okay, so that is a lot. All right, so actually someone offered to purchase those, and it was definitely more than $1,000. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you there. Also, Genius Messenger resellers. Okay, you will now have access to the resellers module here, and you can see there are, connect with the partners. You get a free Vision account as well, how to sign up new partners, and there's some training here. You also, if we go back here, you can see in the Tier 5 partners, this is the biggie. So as a Tier 5 partner, we no longer have a bonus of an unlimited Zapier plan. Zapier changed the way that they do things, and so we no longer have that. However, what I've done is create all of the extensions and the for the extensions and the software. I have created Pabbly share links. So all of these are already done for you. All you literally have to do, if you don't have a Pabbly account, you can create a free account here. There's training as well. But all you have to do is literally click here, and then it will show you where to paste your personal API token. Okay, so the workflows and everything, it's all created for you. All you just have to do is click there, and then after you've logged into your Pabbly account. Okay, so if you want to have all of the tools, they're totally done for you, all of those workflows. Okay, there is something else that I wanted to show you quickly. Let's see, I think this one here. Okay, if you go to now, everyone can access the live training replays. Okay, there's also lots of additional things when I share resources and things like that, how to, do something or whatever, I always put in here. So now I'm opening that up to anyone who just, maybe you already have HighLevel and you're like, I'm so confused. And these are already the trainings that I do live every day, but they're better organized inside the membership area. So you can go to bridgetbartlett.com and register and get access. And you'll also get access to, there's something I talked about yesterday where I shared the Pabbly link to automate the HighLevel sub accounts. Okay, so if you're on the 497 level, you have the ability to automate the sub account creation as well as the user account. I actually looked on YouTube to see if I could find a video to learn myself how to do it, but no one was using Pabbly to create sub accounts and user accounts. Seems like, but that's obviously necessary. You have to have the user account as well. So I wanted to make sure to get that training done, but the share link is also there if you're interested in that. Okay, so I am going to stop sharing now and say hello to everyone. Hello, Miss Maria. Hopefully you got your system fixed. Hello, Linwood and Terry. How are you all?
Doing good, doing good.
Terry's hiding today, huh? You forgot to do your hair?
Yeah.
I get it. Me too. Maria, how's your sound? Is it better? What am I going to do on a Friday Q&A without Maria? Yeah, I think it's your connection, because I kind of hear you, but you sound like a robot. I don't know. All right. I can't hear you, Miss Maria. I wish I could, but I can't.
Oh, wait a minute. Where's my camera? I gotta change camera. There we go.
Hey, see, you did.
I had a late lunch.
It's okay. I'm going to take this opportunity to drink some water too. Did you have any questions for me, Terry? How's your week? What's going on?
Well, I have a lot of questions, Bridget.
Good.
I missed the memo on the 497. I tried to set up my sub account. I went through everything and it was like invalid. I'm like, invalid? What do you mean? I got unlimited accounts, so I should be able to set this up. And then I watched the video again because I'll just go back and watch it. And it was like, oh no, you got to be on the 497 plan. I was like, oh.
I know everything's on.
At least I went through the whole process though. I went through, set up with my Pabbly because you don't have a Pabbly account.
Yeah. I
got that Pabbly when you had mentioned it, when you first got it, you was like, hey guys, this is a good thing. I wasn't doing nothing then, but I'm glad I bought it. So
you're going to be happy because all of my training now, I was only using Zapier because they gave me a free unlimited account. I am all in with Pabbly. I just spent the last couple of days redoing my whole business automations with Pabbly.
So I have a question. I got a new customer yesterday. My first, it's exciting. She's in the real estate and I know that space. So I'm setting her up a simple follow-up system right now. Dang, what was my question? Man, I should have wrote it down. It was yesterday when I was going through everything. Dang, I can't remember the question.
Real estate agent, lead gen.
It was dealing with the setting everything up.
Yeah. Man. Probably connecting something. The calendar, maybe.
I can't remember. I figured out the Pabbly because it took me a second to figure that out after me trying several times, getting the invalid. I was like, I'm following every step. Found out that I needed to do the, oh, got it. Okay, so the ClickFunnels.
Mhm.
There's funnels that they have, all the things. And then when we clone, the system to pull them in, when we pull them into our system, do that copy that, you got to have a ClickFunnels account. I understand that. Once you pull it in and pull it into, clone it from your own ClickFunnels account into HighLevel to do that, stays there. And then can I make a snapshot from that?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, it does not change anything about the ClickFunnels funnel at all. It's literally like you're just kind of making a template out of it for HighLevel. So you can completely get it all set up before they ever deactivate or anything from ClickFunnels. And here's something that I have done because I don't really need ClickFunnels. Here's a little hack for you. I've created a 14-day trial with every email that I have. No, because I don't want to pay for it. But now I'm trying to use a lot of like templates and things like that. And but here's a little thing. If you go to cancel your ClickFunnels, it will offer you basically 3 months for the price of 1 month. So it's like $33 a month for 3 months. So if you did want to create a trial and you wanted to cancel it, I mean, you could for $100 get it for 3 months.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
They got some nice stuff in there that
Yeah.
I saw, and I'm like, man. So I set me up a 14-day free.
Terry,
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in Detroit?
I'm originally from Detroit. I'm in Houston.
I'm in Detroit.
You in Detroit? I'm originally from Detroit.
I'm in Southfield, at 9 miles. So I'm 1 mile from Detroit.
Okay, I used to stay in West Bloomfield.
Okay, that's where my cousins live.
Yeah, right there off Orchard Lake and Maplewood. Or Maplenut. I can't remember.
That's near me. That's not too far.
I was there. I grew and raised there, and then that last winter, I'm like, I'm done. I'm out of here. And I've been in Houston now since 2017. No, 2016 I left.
Okay.
So do you guys know Slim Shady or?
No. Just yeah. I know. I see when I see movies now on TV. Sometimes I see movies. I'm like, that's Detroit, and then they start talking, and that's you can recognize the some of the decayed buildings.
Yeah,
simply. It's bad.
Question, Bridget. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, here's the other product. Now it's coming to me, Bridget. Do you have a basic questionnaire when you do for instance, consulting, or you just, how do you frame that period of when you got a new customer? Because what I'm looking to do is I have series of questions, but I say, some basic or generic, not generic, but something that I could frame my intros when somebody, elect to book book appointment with me. Mm-hmm. What's some of the basic questions that you ask?
So I change this often. And I, when I first started, like with the whole, because, it's such a process. And this is what I tell people, you have to just take the action and do it, because what you realize is, first, it takes skill and practice to get leads. And then once you get the leads in, then you start looking more into sales. Okay, what can I do with these leads to turn them into sales? And you can do so much automation. But then when it comes time to talking to people, it's exactly like what you're saying. It's like, I don't really know what to say. And so I did a lot of like research and Googling and what do the top salespeople, there's lots of blog posts and things to help you kind of get an idea. But after doing all of that, I just kind of scrapped it all. I mean, yes, you get ideas and things that maybe you want to, but my main thing is I always want to ask them, and I ask this almost every meeting that I have. what's the goal? Because usually people will come in and they'll be like, well, here's my whole life history, or here's the, here's all the things that I want to do. But it's like, it's kind of like, that tells you that they don't really know a direction, and then also it's different with local businesses, because when they have a local business, it's totally different than that, because they already know what they're doing. They have a specific problem and they're trying to tell you what their problem is, and it's up to you to find the solution. So it's like, for me, I kind of scrapped the whole standard questioning, because I have so many different solutions that what I really want to do is I want to ask them, okay, if you imagine yourself in 5 years, this is literally what I say every time. If you imagine yourself in 5 years, you're lying in bed, the alarm clock goes off, and instantly you start thinking of what you have to do that day. What's going to make you jump out of bed, excited to get your day started? Because I know that when I was in the hospital as a pharmacy tech for 20 years, the alarm clock would go off and I would be like, oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would start thinking about, oh, I need to go to the hospital. I need to do this and this. I know I'm going to have to do this today because I'm working with this person. And it's like, that's not what we want. We want the excitement. And sometimes it takes a question like that. I actually had a cardiologist. I asked him something about, well, do you actually enjoy doing that? And he's like, oh my gosh. Like, he could not believe that I asked him that question. But it's like, and he said, you ask very provocative questions. It's like, because I want to know the person. There's so many ways of like handling things and marketing and process and all that. But really, at the end of the day, I want to know what's going to make you happy and reach your main goal. You might think you want Facebook ads, but if Facebook ads are not the right solution, it's my job to figure out what's the goal and how can we reverse engineer that to help them meet that goal. So if you tell me you're a cardiologist and you're writing blogs and you're doing this, but yet you hate writing blogs, well, let's talk about either outsourcing that, or let's talk about like, maybe you love video, maybe you want to do that. So it's really hard when you're focused on the individual person and how you can help them reach their goals. It's really hard to have like a standard questioning. So it's one way if they want to get started, and it's another way if they're already established and then they just need to get leads, right? So then it would just depend on, and this is one of the reasons it's helpful to niche down, because if they're a lawyer, because you work with lawyers, what's the best way of getting traffic? Is it maybe booking appointments or Google or Facebook ads and that type of thing? So I really try to be person oriented, and how can I help them? Even if they're a pharmacy, it's like, I want to know, what's the end goal? Is it this one location, or is the end goal in 5 years for you to have multiple locations? Because then maybe we want to think about, the big picture, where you want it to be in 5 years, and let's reverse engineer and let's make one location successful, and let's do this and this and this, and then let's move on to phase 2.
All right, I got another question. When it comes to webhooks, because I knew them, but I didn't know them like I know them. Like yesterday, me going through that process, I know webhooks now. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, ooh, this is the bomb, because I could connect stuff through webhooks.
It opens up like a whole different world of automation. I know.
So the question I have is, I see we have a survey. I like that question survey. Mm-hmm. And what I did yesterday by mistake, I said, I wonder would that work? I put a YouTube video in the survey, where when the survey pops up, I can have a video that starts right off, hey, welcome, answer these few questions. And I could kind of direct them, because I love video. I love video because video is really telling people which way to go. Now, the question I have, are you, which I know you've heard of it, Jot forms, right? Mm-hmm. Jot forms. Have you ever used Jot forms?
I've had clients that have used it, but I've never really.
I like some of the stuff I could do on there.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't really, because I've been using the free version. Mm-hmm. So now they had a little special. I was like, man, but there was some customization I could do there compared to through the survey. It's only so much we could do in the HighLevel. But with the webhook, I could bring everything in from there. So now I can have unlimited, because there was a QR code that you could do through there that I could change up without paying a price for QR code. Because I got a guy, organizations, BASA, that he wants me to set up a QR code follow-up system because he's about to do some shows. And I said, man, I got just the thing for you for the shows. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with doing videos, but what I can do, I have I can do some slides, and I have a voiceover system. I just put the words in there and it'll sound just like, professional, some voiceover, which now that's saving me time and money because I could charge for that. It ain't like, it's taking a lot from me. So I was looking at that job form. I was like, well, maybe I might be interested because I could do more customization on that form and bring it in. But then I'm like, do I really need to? Or Terry, do you really just need to learn more on the high level? Because there's some stuff I learned as far as putting the banner in the back. And then I took a code from one of the systems that, matter of fact, came with your snapshot that you gave, for me. And it's kind of got some CSE in there. And I'm like, okay, well, my form didn't look like that. So I just took that out and put it into a new one I did. And I'm like, oh, well, it works. So now I'm about to become better at the CSS.
You should, first, I definitely want to tell you, when you're doing these consultations, always ask them where they're getting leads or what are they doing to get leads.
Right.
That'll answer everything for you. That's the main thing. With QR codes, you check AppSumo, because AppSumo usually has like an LTD on QR codes and it's really cool and save you a lot of money. And then the forms and things like that, if there's lots of CSS generators that are free that you can use.
Really?
Yeah. And I am not like a CSS person, but if you give me the code, I could probably like finagle around to figure it out. So what I would say, if you want to learn that anyway, I would say just start watching some videos, check out some free CSS generators, and then kind of get it, because with the survey, you can do lots of things with CSS, but I'm not an expert at CSS.
Yeah.
So
because it don't look that good by itself.
Yeah. When I'm in your predicament, what I usually do is, okay, I need something to do this. So do I want to invest into a new tool and spend more time and money learning it and take, all of that? Or do I want to learn a skill like CSS and a way that I can work around with the tools I already have? Right. So people ask me like, how do you know so many things? And that's seriously how. It's just out of necessity, I've had to figure out, do I want to invest in this tool? Can I use it for more clients? Would it make more sense because it's faster and easier and all of that? Or do I really kind of want to learn this anyway? And so let's dive in and learn it. So depending on the solution that you need, I mean, that's two avenues you might have.
That's my dilemma, because I'm like, I don't need to get that when I already have it over here. But it's just, few things a little different, but the other process, I know that a little bit because I used it before. I don't know this over here. So now it's like, okay, just like yesterday, I just jumped in there and started learning. And I said, I put that HTML in the code part and then the YouTube video popped up. I'm like, OMG, yeah, it works. So now I know how I can use that when people go through that survey. It could be a video at the top explaining telling them what to do. When they get finished, a video again, telling them where I want call of action, telling them where, because it's all about directing them where to go next. And I think a video would help with that. So I'm pretty stoked on that. But I was
everything that you're saying is so important, because I hear this so many times. People get so overwhelmed with all the things that they have to learn, but everything that you're saying is exactly what you should be doing, because it's not about being an expert in everything. It's taking the time to learn the things that you have to learn to get the job done. It's actually taking, and again, I'm going back to the take action, because it's like you don't know those things that you actually need to know until you have a purpose for it. So it's like you're saying, if you want a video on a survey, you can either figure out the tool that you have, or you can go purchase a new tool. And it depends on the what you need it for. If it's a good investment and it's going to save you lots of time, you're going to use it a lot, go for it. And then, like you said, the integrations, just integrate.
So the only way I could, I got to upgrade to get my APIs as far as the, I was all geeky. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna set that up tonight. I saw that video yesterday. I was up late going through and I had it all set. I'm like, it ain't working. And then I said, let me go watch the video. And when you said, oh yeah, you got to be at the pro plan, I'm like, bummer. At least I know how to do it now. I know how to set up. I learned more about webhooks. So now I'm like, I'm looking for different things. You got a webhook? You got a webhook? I can bring you anywhere as long as you got that webhook.
Almost everything has a webhook.
Yeah.
A webhook option, at least. Yeah.
So in the HighLevel system, you basically, I don't have to ask that because the video explained as far as the form is the way to trigger everything when you set in any way you want to connect stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So if let's say JotForm, if they had like a webhook, first of all, I'm sure JotForm has an actual application inside of Pabbly, so you wouldn't even. Actually, I think Pabbly uses webhooks for most of their thing. Even if you select the actual app, it's still a webhook. But yes, if they have the webhook, it's like you can just create that trigger inside of HighLevel, no matter what it is, as long as you have that webhook, whether it's generated by the tool or it's generated by Pabbly, as long as you have a webhook that's going to pull information from something, you can put it into HighLevel.
Good. All right. So I'm gonna go watch that video again that you did on the clone with the cloning and bringing ClickFunnels, so I don't need to ask that question. I'm good then. I'm basically on point. Just gotta get maybe 3-4 more customers, and then I'm gonna upgrade.
That's how you do it.
I'm gonna upgrade. So I got another. I got that guy, and I got another insurance agency that. They're similar to, I wouldn't say Primerica, but they recruit agents and stuff. And I was like, well, you need an awesome, everybody needs follow-up. So I said, man, I got an unbelievable follow-up system that could automate some of your stuff. And he was like, well, I'm pretty interested. I said, well, he has like, I don't know, maybe 80 or 90 agents. So that looks very promising. It was pretty exciting. And I was just thinking about that. So when I learned yesterday, just messing up with the video thing, I'm like, ooh, that's opening up a whole nother door, because I can create those videos for people who are uncomfortable doing videos, far as the slideshow with the voiceover and music and stuff. So I think that's going to open up a lot of stuff as well. So I'm pretty excited about that.
You may be able to get more customers. Here's a really, really cool tip for everyone, because if you have HighLevel and you're on a plan that has unlimited accounts, now you have the ability to take all of those tools and you can use like the invoicing to create an ascending invoice. So what that is like, and I see this all the time, it's such a great strategy. Use an ascending invoice so that you can promote a tool. Okay. So let's say the social media scheduler inside of your HighLevel account. Okay. You are the company, you are launching your agency, and you are willing to give social media scheduler for $1 a month. But every time someone signs up, it's going to increase $1 or $2 or $3. And so that creates this sense of urgency. And it's a great way of letting them get in there and test out the tool and see what they like. And they're going to see all these other things that they're interested in. So it's a way to build up that trust factor and and to build the relationship, right? Because it's $1. Who wouldn't want a social media scheduler for $1?
True.
So you may want to check that out too. Maybe help you get those extra customers.
Absolutely.
Maria, I see your hand up. Thank you so much for being patient.
I just have a quick question. I know you mentioned this before, but it just popped in my head. Do you ever use paid traffic? So I know you use organic most of the time.
I have done paid traffic, but it's so expensive. And really it's expensive to like be successful with your ads, because I always tell people, unless you have like $2,000 to spend on paid ads, don't do it. Because you need to do, at least several $100s to get the testing part down. And then you need this ongoing ad spend, and it's kind of expensive. And then you have to also make sure, it's better to test your copy and all of those things, and you have to constantly tweak it. And the thing with paid traffic too, is like, they're not like hot or warm leads. They're like people who've never heard of me. And I don't want to sell people. So like, I could run paid ads to my website, and I could book massive appointments for discovery calls and all those things. But what's going to happen? I'm using all of my time to be in these meetings, if they even show up, because they don't know me or any value that I'm bringing. They may have posted an ad because they got something free, or got an appointment for something free. And then I have to talk to them and sell them on what I'm doing. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to hire a team to do that. I love that I can create this content, and then people message me and ask for information, or maybe they just have a few questions because they've already like binged watched my videos. They already feel like they know me. Now I'm more valuable for them to keep my appointment. And so from trial and error, I just feel like definitely the content creation, the getting the hot leads who are, by the time people talk to me, they're already ready to sign up. They may have a few questions, maybe something that they didn't quite understand, or they just want to verify, or ask what the best option or plan is. But by the time I talk to them, I don't need to sell. So I don't like paid traffic. Not saying I won't ever do it, but I prefer the hot leads.
Okay, that was just a thought I had. Not that I'm going to get some right now, but thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Oh, you're muted.
We got it now. Doing well, thank you.
Good.
Okay.
Did you have any questions today? Just joining us for fun? Cool.
Yeah, I do actually. So I'm using HighLevel, love it. Just the missed call text back alone is worth the price of admission. Just on one feature. Because I can't believe how many people hang up and start a conversation and they end up being a client. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Mind-boggling. But so in terms of the online course area, I'm decided to use another outside platform that it's just better for my needs. But my question is in terms of linking the two. The other platform, I don't know if it matters, but it's called LearnWorlds. But they recommend inside of their platform using a Zapier. They have a Zapier integration. And I know they also have a page, I was just looking at it, that has a list of like 15 webhooks that they have pre-made.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to integrate the GoHighLevel with this learning platform. Is it webhooks? Is it API? Is it Zapier? Is it Pabbly? All those words are a little bit making me a little crazy.
So with it all depends on how they allow the integration. Some, for example, HighLevel, to create the unlimited sub accounts, you have to have the API that allows you to do it. And so there's a little bit more setup. But if they allow you to use webhooks, which if they're providing them, they do, then you can use any webhook provider you want. There's like Integromat, there's Zapier, there's Pabbly. I love Pabbly because it's just, it's an LTD. So it's like you pay one price and then it's yours forever. And you have unlimited zaps if you choose that plan. And so, you know, it's just, if I can choose an LTD, that's what I want to do, because I want to eliminate my monthly cost, because that eats into your profit. And Zapier is much more expensive. But if you're not doing, you're not getting a lot of traffic and things like that, you can use Zapier for like 100 zaps for free. Pabbly is 100 zaps for free. So really it just depends on your purpose, but I would probably say webhooks for sure. But that's actually, and let me show you, because I did a whole training on this this week about, let me get in here, about how you can send any info with the webhook, right? So let's go to create a workflow, or actually we want to go up to triggers, okay? So, however, if you're sending the info from the e-learning course, then let's see, I'm having to work through that process manually here. So let's say I don't want a folder. So we can trigger a rule, right? And this is going to, this is going to do whatever happens in HighLevel would trigger the webhook. Okay. So if you want to send info from HighLevel to your e-learning, like let's say that you have like the purchase and all that stuff through here, you would want to just choose whatever action you want. Like let's say maybe you have all of your automations, but you grant access to an offer here, and you can choose the specific offer if you want to. And then you want to trigger the webhook, right? So you're going to go over here and you're going to choose execute webhook and then paste your webhook there. All right. Now, if you want the info to come from the e-learning to HighLevel, then you have to use like Pabbly. So if I go to Pabbly here, and you could use Zapier, whatever you wanted to do. And I wanted to do Pabbly Connect because that's like the Zapier alternative. So let's just do a test. And what did you say the name of it was?
LearnWorlds.
So let's try learning.
And then learning.
Oh, LearnWorlds. There we go.
LearnWorlds, not learning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Learn.
So you can just choose this app here, and then you can choose, like, let's say anytime you have a new purchase. Okay. Wow. So they completed a course, or subscription installments paid, or whatever you want to trigger this, let's say new purchase. Then you have this webhook here. Okay. So from LearnWorld, anytime someone purchases from LearnWorld, then you want it to trigger this webhook here, right? So you could go to, let's try HighLevel. And then you could create an action here, like maybe create an update. Okay, so does that make sense? You have to, and this tells you right here what to do with this webhook. So you would have to log into LearnWorld. You'd go to settings, integration, webhooks, tick the activate checkbox when products are bought, and then copy the webhook URL above and paste it into the URL address field, and then capture webhook response. So what it's saying is, here's where you want to put it inside of LearnWorlds. And then once you do that, you always want to test it. So right now it's like waiting for a webhook response, meaning you would want to go to LearnWorlds and you'd want to like make a fake purchase or something so that it will send the info that you want to send to HighLevel, right? So it's going to capture that info, and then you can tell from that point, tell HighLevel or this app what to do inside of HighLevel. Does that make sense?
It does. So to go from the e-learning to GoHighLevel, I'm going to use Pabbly, is what you're suggesting. Mm-hmm. And then Pabbly will give me the URL and I'll paste that into the e-learning.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you'll paste it right here exactly where it says, this is one of the reasons I love Pabbly, because they're very good at giving you these specific instructions, where Zapier is kind of like, it kind of reads like stereo instructions where you're like, I don't really know where to go to get this info. So yeah.
Okay, so I got it that direction, going from the learning into GoHighLevel. And then if I want to go the other direction, so let's say I have a contact in HighLevel and I want to add a tag to them, like granting them access. So
you could do that a couple different ways. Okay. You could do that here with the webhook and choose contact tag. Okay, so it's going to do the same thing. It's like you're going to have a you're going to have the, contact tag inside of HighLevel. It's going to pull in the information. You would want to, of course, test it by tagging a contact, and it's going to pull in all that info. And then now you could just send it to LearnWorld here. And then you would want to paste this webhook. There's a couple ways to do it inside of HighLevel. You can paste it here, like we talked about, where you can choose whatever action here. Maybe it's a contact tag, maybe it's a form submission, changing the pipeline, whatever it is, and then it's going to send the info here. Or what you could do is, which I'm sure you have an automation that you would want to do. So you could just create a new workflow. So let's just go through here and just create a workflow. And then you could have this trigger whatever you want it to trigger, right? And then you choose your step and you're just going to go down to webhook and then you'll paste it here. So you can either do the trigger that way, just a standalone trigger based on the action, or you can add it to a workflow. Because what I do is I usually have a form here, and then I have it trigger the webhook so I can send it wherever, and then I'll send an email and then text, and then maybe add a tag and update my opportunity pipeline and all of those things.
Okay, so if I understand you correct, Pabbly is the middle person, and Pabbly is going to give you the URL. Whether you paste that URL into the learning or into GoHighLevel, you're still going to get the URL from the Pabbly Connect.
Yeah, it's kind of, if you imagine like a fishing line, it's like you have these two different softwares, and it's like the webhook is, you cast it out, and it's like you're going to tell it, do you want it to capture info from here or from here? So it's kind of, it's like the best VA you've ever had in your life. So it's like,
okay, so if I wanted to work off a tag, so for example, somebody purchases inside the learning, they purchase a course, then I can set it up so that it adds a tag to that person inside a HighLevel, right? So that I can later email that group of people who bought that thing.
If you wanted to do that,
yeah,
I think, because it would have to, you would have to tell it
right.
Once that, yeah, you would have to, I'm just trying to work through the workflow to make sure I tell you the right thing. So you would have it trigger that webhook with the info from LearnWorld. And then, yeah, you could create like the workflow. So the first step would be like the webhook, right? And then you would have the tag, and then you would have whatever automations you want to take place after that.
But in any case, you have to configure it if it was purchase here and then add contact tag here, or persons here, add a tag, grant access here. You're still setting that up. It's not just click a button, sync between the two.
Right.
You're setting up send info here, and then you set up over and then send info this way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are some things like, for example, if you're inside of your HighLevel account and you want to connect Zoom, it's like, that's an easy integration. You just log in, that's done. But when you want the more complex things where the two softwares don't talk to each other at all, yes, webhooks by far the best option. Sometimes the only option, webhooks or API.
Okay, or API. So is one recommended over the other?
It just depends on the permissions and things. Like, for example, tier 5, when I set up the accounts and all of that, it's with API. So it's not just a webhook. It's like you have like a token and, the extension token, and there's other things that you have to set up. That's kind of what I was talking about, yesterday. Yeah. And I was talking about yesterday about, setting up HighLevel and how you have to do all that. Okay, so it's just a little different. But if you can accomplish it with webhooks, definitely easier.
It's easier. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Very good. I think that's
cool.
That covers that. Thank you.
You can create a free Pabbly account at myvisionagency.com/Pabbly.
Okay, and then next is going to be figuring out how to estimate how many of these, what they're not called zaps, but automations via Pabbly, right? It's
just going to be a lot cheaper than Zapier. And I personally, like I was saying, I feel like Pabbly is easier. It's more user-friendly than Zapier.
Okay,
That's
so if they were the same price, you're saying if they were identical price, then you'd still choose Pabbly?
yes. Mhm.
Okay, that says a lot.
Yeah. And I actually had, like I was saying, I had a free Zapier account, and I only used Zapier just because it was free. Now I no longer have it, and I immediately went back to Pabbly. And it was actually more work for me to do that because I already had all my workflows and zaps built out. But I was like, if I have to pay for something, I'm paying for Pabbly. It just makes more sense.
Okay. Next. Yes.
I got a question.
Sure.
The webhook in Chirply.
Mhm.
Have you used that? I saw it, but well, now I know more about webhooks.
Mhm.
What will we use that for? Because I'm using Chirply a lot now.
So with Chirply, and let me see if I can log in here. The webhook is like you determine inside of Chirply what you want the webhook to trigger. You can have different let me go here. Let me make sure
Because I set up my whole phone system now. So you push number 5, you get a demonstration of how the callback system works. I'm loving Chirply.
Yeah, and you can even if they push 5, you could have that trigger a webhook as well. So let me show you.
What?
Yeah,
Don't say that, Bridget.
I know it's crazy. I'm just gonna rock your world with that. So when you create a webhook, let's say in Pabbly, or actually, let me do this because I think that this actually gives you the webhook. Let's say copy, okay? And then I want to add to a new list. All right, so I'm just naming the webhook, and then I'm going to choose, this is my webhook name, and then I'm going to choose what action I want it to fire and what I want it. So I'm choosing copy, right? So what I'm saying is every time this webhook gets triggered, I want it to copy to this list. Okay, so that's kind of how you want to set it up. So do you want to add a zap? Do you want to add any of these zaps that you have here? You can choose from the actions, right? So I'm going to choose next now, and then it gives you the webhook. So since it gives you the webhook, and it tells you right here, submit request on the above webhook endpoint using get or post method from your sample contact. Okay, so what you would want to do is this is going to send info from Chirply wherever you want it to go. Okay, so you would have to let me make sure I get this right. So because this is now you're testing me on my webhook knowledge. So I did test this out because I don't use this that much anymore. I'm all in with HighLevel. Yeah, it's going to trigger that, and then you would have to use like Pabbly and then say that you're starting with your webhook.
I'm gonna get in there and mess with it because that's how I figure stuff out. So I was just curious. I saw webhook in there, and now since I have this newfound knowledge of webhooks now compared to before, it's like opening a whole lot of processes open. And I saw that webhook in Chirply because I have 2 people I'm building an IVR. Their phone system is their lead system. So their phone system, and then now I'm about to put video when somebody hit that number 5, take them into a system with a video in there. So I'm stoked right now. So now your phone system is bringing people in and giving them a demonstration of what you have for your business before you even talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited with that. It's just what part of pricing and I'm gonna do with this. The question is what I'm looking at.
If you really want to get advanced, you could use Magic Zap, which
I
saw
that, but I was like, all this zap and then the zap in there. I'm like, I'm all zapped out.
I know. It's like I've actually not used it because I don't have a purpose for it yet. And like I was saying, it's like really overwhelming if you just think you need to get in there and become an expert of all the tools. It's just never going to happen. So
Right.
I'm very like, if I need it, I'm going to learn from necessity. But that's one of those things. I mean, I know Magic Zap. I actually, when I was with Vendasta, and
I was with
wasted all
them.
that. Yeah. Wasted all that money.
Yeah.
But they actually had like a Magic Zap option, right? And so I looked into this a lot, and it's basically like a code that you put on your website, and then it allows you to like call people who land on your website.
Imagine that.
Yes.
So I didn't even know I saw it, but I said, you know what? I'm not going to mess with that right now because I'm over it with Pabbly and with these. So then I saw the Zap in Chirply. What do that do? The map Zap, or I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Chirply is very advanced because John Vaughn,
Right.
who's the founder of Tier 5, he is a Zapier expert, so all of the tools, and this is something I look for all the time, is those integrations. All of the tools have really easy access to integrations. So like Chirply, you can create those very specific zaps, and then it gives you the link, and then you have to take that link and then send it. This information goes to this place, right? So it's a little more complicated when you're working on like outgoing webhooks as opposed to like incoming. And then Magic Zap is a little techie. That's why I was like, I don't really need this. But it's really, really cool. If that's something that
I looked on the YouTube, they don't go into too much detail, explaining them in detail. So the other part, you just got to get in there and trial and error and see what works. And
I wanted to, because it's so super cool. I'm just like, I have this list. And then I have
I think I'm gonna use, because that's the angle. Like I told you before, I'm working on this one thing here and I'm building on it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be this one price. And I'm telling everybody right now, get it for $97 a month, because eventually you grandfather in, it's gonna go to $150. Because I'm gonna keep adding on to that. And then, hey, this is the deluxe version, this is the premium version, and just keep adding on. I think that's the best way. And then as I have that locked down, then I choose on something else. But I gotta have something that I could go get 10 customers. My goal right now in the next 30 days to have 10 new customers.
Harry, you're so smart. I think you're just gonna have to do our Q&As from now on, because I love I know, but I just love what you're doing. I just love it because you're doing everything right. You have the sales goals. That is so important. And it's so hard for people to grasp the sales goals, because we just become lifetime learners and we try to learn everything. And then it's like, before you know it, we're divorced and alone and living in a hut somewhere because we've lost everything because we never tried to get customers.
Yeah.
I hear this all the time, and it's like my heart breaks, because I was that person too. I was the one, I'm going to learn. As soon as I learn this, then I'll be ready. As soon as my website's done, then I'll be ready. Oh, I'm just going to rebuild this website. I'm going to redo this. And as soon as I write a year's worth of emails, then I'll be ready to start getting leads. And it's like, no. Yeah. Because you don't even know what you need to put in the emails until you start talking to people.
My website's still under construction. I'm like, you know what? I get to that back later, but I need to get this up and running. So I'm really excited about that and focusing, because just yesterday I was presented with another network company and I turned them down. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay the course. I'm working on my own Linux. Ain't nothing get me off, and it sounded so great. And it's my comfort zone. Network marketing is my comfort zone. And I said, look, I could build you some tools for your group. And I then created a course in HighLevel for my guy who's doing it. And I told him, that's going to be like $297 a month what I'm setting you up with. He was like, oh, okay, no problem. I said, then we'll upgrade it from there. And I came real close to saying I join, but I was like, nope, I got to stay the course. I was like, nope, this is the year. I'm gonna stay the course, and I'm not joining nothing. I set you up a system, but not being a rep. I'm not doing it. Nope. I didn't make a decision.
You're smart. That I guarantee, I'm telling you, Terry, that's what it's going to take for you to reach your goals, is just that tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And just not getting overwhelmed with all of these things, the sales goals, the tunnel vision, learning out of necessity, all of those things are going to help you reach your goals.
And with an awesome mentor, I'm loving it. I tell you, I look forward to our Fridays, because I'd be like, oh yeah, I got some more questions to have. So, because I watched all your videos. If I'm not on sessions, I watch them later, and then I go do it. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead. So I have you on one screen, and I have my system up, and I'll pause you and go do it. Be like, oh, that didn't work. Rewind you and go do it. And that's, because that's how I'm gonna get better. So I appreciate you.
Everything that I know, I have learned exactly like that.
Okay.
It's like I was trying to figure out how to create sub accounts with Pabbly, because I had been using Zapier and I had a pre-built Zapier Zap that my support team gave me. So I was like, oh great, now I need so I'm looking for videos, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try that, I'm gonna try that. And then it's like I figure it out. Now I'm gonna create a video to show how to do it.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. So definitely appreciate you. I will be upgrading in the next 30 days to the pro plan. So yeah.
And you're going to do it the smart way, because you got the clients that call for it. I could easily tell everyone, oh, everybody needs the $497 plan. Everyone does. But that's not my goal. That's why we have the multiple plans. That's why if you're a beginner with no experience, just start as a beginner. And then as you build up and you learn, then go all in. $497.
I got one other question here, and then when I create other accounts, it sends the account I set up, it sends that email with my information that I created an account already.
Oh, it's
it'll say new account set up on Linux, and it'll send the email automatically, because I was testing something and I didn't want it to send this person an email, and I should have put a test email and not her actual email in there, because she called me. My system set up. I'm like, oh no. I said, no. I'm just sitting here testing to see how I'm gonna figure some stuff. She said, oh, I got an email. I said, oh, discard that. We was just testing. We're getting it ready for you though, next week or so.
Nice cover.
Yeah, I didn't know it did it. I was like, okay, well.
I think that's a new thing, because like the API permissions and all of that changed. It used to have where you could, on the $297 plan, create the automations, but it was a security issue with the APIs doing that, and so they stopped doing that. And then there was talk about when you create the sub account, people were like, on the $297 plan, people were like, yeah, but how do they get their login instructions and all of these things? And so that's probably a new thing.
Oh, because it was automatic, and she texted me. I was like, you don't supposed to know nothing about that. And I'm like, oh, well, I learned now not to do that. So if I set up an account, pre-account, I put a generic, like in, Gmail, you just put plus in front of it.
Yeah.
And you can use it, and I send it to myself before, and they can always update the email. So
yeah, that's what I did.
So I'm learning. I'm on the accelerated version of learning. So
you are. It's exciting to watch. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, because Chirply is just a guy I'm just love. Oh yeah,
it's great. All right, Jeff, I saw your hand up.
Yep, and if this is somewhere else, you can just point me to it. But my question is, first you said the Pabbly one. Is yours the 447? Is that the one you have, the ultimate package that you mentioned?
Okay. Yeah, I have two plans now, because I couldn't I originally bought the 149 one because I was like, oh, it's good, and I don't really know Pabbly. I just didn't want to really invest, and but then I couldn't upgrade from my original plan, so now I have to. So I have both. But yes, the reason that I like the other one, the most expensive one, is it's unlimited. I don't have to worry about it. It's like you pay one time, and then as your business grows, if it's 5 years down the road, you're not paying more money every month for more tasks.
And I don't see it saying unlimited. Certain things, it says tasks 10,000, and it says unlimited internal task, unlimited operations, and limited workflows. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it's definitely the best plan. I mean, you think about it, if you go to Zapier's website too and look at their pricing, you'll see why Pabbly is better. It's if you were to even 3,000 tasks or zaps from Zapier, I think it's like $60 a month or something. And then yeah, it's crazy expensive. But yeah.
Can you explain or point me to where it explains the difference between a task, an internal task, an operation, and a workflow?
So a workflow is like the whole process, right? Let me show you here. I'd
Okay.
rather show you than tell you. So this right here is a workflow. Okay, so if I go to my workflows here, or let's go to the dashboard, you'll see that I have workflows here. I have workflows all over here. Each of these things are a workflow. Okay, so you might have, let's just go to like, I don't want to really expose anything, but you may have a workflow that contains like 20 different tasks. Okay. So like you can see this one here has, and then it'll tell you 31 tasks consumed for this, meaning that this has been triggered 31 times. Okay. So like in this account right here, I have allotted 3,000. I've consumed 505. I have this many tasks remaining. And then there are some free tasks, okay, that they don't actually charge you. But if I was creating a new workflow, let me just open this one up that we were working on. I have like, here is a task. Okay. So this is like one task. And then maybe you're in HighLevel and then you want to send your info to like LearnWorld. And then you want to send this info to like your Trello board. And then you want to also take that same info and then like send an email to someone with all the info. And then maybe you also want to like send it to Telegram. So all of these things, this is a whole workflow. Okay. But each thing that you want Pabbly to do that is automated for you, that is a task.
Got it. So a workflow is a group of tasks.
Yes.
Okay. And then internal tasks versus tasks, because it says tasks give you a limit 10,000, then it says internal tasks unlimited.
I've never seen anything that says internal tasks, so I'm not really sure.
Okay, and then operations would be the other one. Do you know?
Yeah, I think operations, and again, I'm not positive about this, but I think operations is, well, let's just go to the Pabbly website here. Let's look at this together. I don't like to explain things. I'd rather just visually talk about it. Let's see. My vision agency, and we'll go to Pabbly. Okay, so we have Pabbly Connect. Let's look at lifetime. All right, so let's scroll down to plans. This website takes a minute to load. I feel like every time I land on it, it's slow, or it's probably just my computer. Any day. Okay, it doesn't want to load. Do you want to share your screen and then
my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I have the Pabbly. I got the Pabbly pulled up. Okay, so let's see here. Share screen. And then go to Chrome Pabbly, share.
Okay. So, oh yeah. So see how great and helpful they are. If you hover over it, it should tell you the difference. See how the little notes pop up. So if you take,
okay, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Workflows, we mentioned that. Action steps, multi-step workflow. And what was the question I asked?
The internal, yeah.
Unlimited internal.
Unlike others, we don't count tasks for internal apps like filter. Oh, okay. So that's good to know. Format or schedule iterator and date time format. Oh, okay. So what they're telling you is like internal tasks, as in like so they have like routers and things, right? So or like email. So if you wanted Pabbly, like let's say that you say, all right, when I pull in this information, I want to use like a filter or a router. For example, like if you create a workflow, it's pulling in info. If you want to create something that says, if this does not contain this, I want you to push the info to this. So it's kind of like filtering and routing. And so that's what they're referring to as an internal task.
Okay, and I don't know where I saw the word operations.
Oh yeah, so like unlimited path routers and yeah. It's kind of a lot of techie stuff. If you're not familiar with all this, you probably won't even.
There it is, right there. There's operations.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's just what they're saying. The operations, meaning like whatever you set up for Pabbly to do, it's all unlimited. So you're not like, if you, let's say you're on the 3,000 task plan and then you really use 4,000 that month, it's like you're never going to have to worry about it with that plan.
Okay. On the Zapier, they would talk about pricing and they'd say this one takes 5 minutes or this one takes 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any time things on here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have specific questions, I would just you can message them in the bottom right hand corner. Okay. Because I am definitely, like I said, I was always using like Zapier because I had the free account, and then now I'm on Pabbly. I've had Pabbly for like 2 years, but I just didn't use it that much because I didn't have because I had Zapier. So, but I love Pabbly. I have used it for, even though I had the Zapier, I still used Pabbly for specific tasks that I had, and I've never had an issue ever. So, but when they're talking about the 2 minute or 5 minute, what they mean is like, let's say that you have a workflow that's like, all right, I want you to capture this information in this webhook, and then I want you to send it to HighLevel. What they're saying with the 2 minute, 5 minute is that operation might take 2 minutes or it might take 5 minutes to send the info. So that's what they're referring to there.
Okay, good enough. A completely different question, if I may, mm-hmm. a short one. In terms of a strategy and URLs and subdomains and those things, I have my main website out on WordPress, mm-hmm. and then for the school, is there any recommendation whether to use a subdomain of your main website for that, or to use a completely new domain, completely separate one? If you have a school somewhere else, does it matter?
So, so what do you mean by school?
Okay.
So your main domain is what?
It's Mindset Bliss.
Okay. And then the school is what? Is that your business?
Yeah, I didn't connect it up, but yeah, it's going to be for Mindset Bliss. So my question was, do I get something like mindsetblissacademy.com or university.com, or whatever learning or academy like a subdomain of Mindset Bliss? Does that make any difference or any rule of thumb?
So I have, and it really depends on the software, whether you are able to.
I can do either. Yeah.
Okay. So what I like, and with HighLevel, the membership area, you can connect your own domain or subdomain. Uh-huh. So what I've done is I have myvisionagency.com. Okay. Then for the actual, my HighLevel app, meaning the one that you log into to my HighLevel agency, that is app.myvisionagency.com. All of my affiliate links, I'm actually in the process of changing them all to be myvisionagency.com/whatever it is. So it's not a right or wrong thing, but I love the idea, if it's the same business, to have the same main domain, because here's what happens. People go to the one website, right? Like, let's say that, somebody watching this video, they're like, oh, I want to sign up for Pabbly, and they go to myvisionagency.com/Pabbly. Well, they sign up and they might be like, well, now I'm on this website though. Like, I wonder what's at myvisionagency.com. People do this, and I do this too. So it's like, it's another way of like brand recognition. It's a way to stay organized. And it's kind of like a way of getting traffic. So I love that idea, but it's not always possible. Like with our noisy network, I needed a whole subdomain. I couldn't use myvisionagency.com/noisy. So I created clients.myvisionagency.com. But in HighLevel, you can use the redirect. So if I wanted to, even though that's still my subdomain, clients.myvisionagency.com, I could still forward that to myvisionagency.com/noisy or something. So just because you choose one doesn't mean you can't do the other if you're just forwarding. Hopefully I didn't confuse you with all of that.
No, but that makes sense from a branding point, because people are more likely to backspace, or for you guys, for backspace off the little ending just to the .com, rather than messing around with backspacing out the subdomain. Is that right? Okay. So in that case, I should maybe consider taking my website off WordPress and putting it on the same domain with the school.
Yeah, that would definitely be easy. Yeah, if the software you're using
it'll let me do that. Create a home page. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Super. Okay, next.
Yeah, and you could also, like, let's say that you just decide, I don't want to have my home page there. You could always create your home page somewhere and then create a subdomain. But wherever your home page is, wherever that domain is, has to have the ability to do the / and then whatever. So yeah, it can get really tricky if that's the option you wanted to take, but then you could always do a subdomain. So maybe I just confused you with all of that.
No, it makes sense. But from a branding standpoint, it does make sense to maybe bypass the subdomain.
Yeah.
Super. Very helpful. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. Anybody else have questions? We're running kind of late today. I love it though. I love it.
No, I just want to say thank you so much. I got a lot of homework to do, and I'm looking forward to sharing with the group, my process as I go through. I appreciate y'all all inspire me, so I'm just appreciative to be part of it.
Well, you guys inspire me too all the time. It would be a very, very boring job, especially, I honestly look forward to the Friday Q&As every week because I actually get to talk to you. Sometimes like in texting and things, sometimes I feel so bad because I'm like so preoccupied and I'm like, okay, they have this question, I'm going to hurry and respond. But then it's like, in text, how things are like misinterpreted. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't think that I don't care. I'm just trying to multitask. So I love Friday Q&As because I actually get to talk, and you can definitely communicate better than just texting. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I will definitely let you go. Edison, do you have a question?
Hi. Bridget, one quick question concerning the subdomains. Can your subdomain be like, for example, I have digitally.com. Can I have maybe I'm not thinking about an email. Can you, instead of the / whatever it is, or let's say digitally.com /promotions, can I have instead promotions.digitally.com? It can be done that way as well? And that can be done on HighLevel, right?
Yeah. So with the subdomains, okay. So with the digitally.com, if you wanted to do / whatever, you would just use the URL redirects. That's in your settings and your account's really easy. It's literally copying and pasting. To do the subdomain, you just need to follow the instructions to create a CNAME. So like if you're on Bluehost, you would create a CNAME, give it a name, it would go to your, and it says specifically, if you go to connect a domain, what it says. So you're going to go to like Bluehost or GoDaddy or Namecheap, wherever it's at, you're going to add a CNAME of whatever you want your subdomain to be. and then you're going to connect it to HighLevel. So you're pointing it from your registrar to HighLevel, and then once it's been pointed, you can connect it and then connect it to whatever you want to.
Okay. Understood.
All righty.
Great.
Well, thank you guys so much. I love seeing all the new faces and everything. Really exciting. Before you go though, we do have to do our contest. We got to do the spinny wheel thing. I'm so sorry.
Rich, I got one last question before you do the test.
Go ahead while I'm entering everyone's name.
When I create this, like when I open up, create an account, right? Once I finish all the automations and stuff, I can create a snapshot out of that whole account, correct?
Oh yeah.
And then from that point, I use that snapshot for everything else as duplication purposes.
Yep.
All right, I'm good. I thought that
all you have to do is like create the account. So what I do is like when I know that I'm going to create an account with the purpose of a snapshot, I want to get all of the like custom values. I want to make sure everything is like as duplicatable as possible. And then everything within that account is going to be the snapshot. So like when I did that thing with North Star, I created a whole separate sub account. I created the website, added all the custom values, the workflows and all of that, because it's much easier to make it simple in that situation. So that's what I did. And then now that I created a snapshot from that account, and then now I can do whatever I want with that snapshot.
Thank you.
Let me add Linwood here, and then, okay. So we got Linwood, Maria, Terry, Edison, Jeff, and I think, is that Zion? I don't think.
Did I ever set the appointment with you from the last one?
It's actually it's actually Jenny. I'm sorry, it's a work nickname. So it's just Jenny.
I will forgive you for that. Okay, so let's do the little spiel, the little wheel thing. And I think I'm still going to offer a tool or a consultation, but I think most of you guys are all choosing consultation, so it's probably what you'll choose again, but you still have the option. Okay, so here we go. Maria, you are just so blessed. I think we meet like every week. You're muted.
I said again, I'm so excited. Me and your puppy, we meet every week. Yeah. I've won 3 times already.
I know.
That's a record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we had an incident.
I know. It was like my power just completely went out. It was like we had 1 minute left at our meeting, and then it was like everything went down.
She has the cutest puppy. She was afraid. Miss Maggie May, right?
Yeah, she was terrified of the rain.
Yeah, so send me that, and I'll take the tool or the consultation. I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. Well, you are the lucky one today. So thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you all on Mondays. Jeff? Yep, go ahead.
If I sign up for the Pabbly free via your My Vision site, and then if I decide to upgrade to one of the other plans, will you get credit if I go that route?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's it.
Cool. And you will love Pabbly. There's tons of training too in the live training replays.
Super.
So you can see the power of it. All right, cool. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you on Monday, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality.